Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I've been seeing these rustic farmhouse hanging sconces here on Pinterest, and I've seen a couple of girls do them on YouTube, and so I decided to recreate them myself. So I'm going to show you a tutorial on how I did that. These are the ones that I created, and I put these in my living room. I like the way that they turned out. You can totally customize these. I started out by using 2 boards, 7 by 14. You can have them cut at your local hardware store. I had my uncle do them for me, and I'm starting out with some white chalk paint. These items you can find from your local Dollar Tree, the paint brushes, the flowers that I use, the jute twine, the jars, pretty much everything you can find from your local Dollar Tree. There are a couple of items that you will need to go to a hardware store. So I'm just gonna go ahead and begin by painting the boards, and I'm painting them white. You can also stain these if you want a really nice wooden look. You can go ahead and stain them, but because I have not had the baby yet, I did not want to be exposed to using the wood stain. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use a regular chalk paint. Now the back does not need to be painted unless you just want to, because that is the part that will be against the wall, so you won't see it anyway. It's time to paint the jars, and I do recommend that you paint the jars a different color from the board so that they will stand out. So I'm just gonna go with a turquoise blue color, and I can link the exact color down in the description that I used. I thought that the color in this bottle was a little too dark, so I added in a light blue also with it to see if I could lighten it up a little. I did a lot of playing around with the shade. It just kept being too dark, so I'm adding in some white now, and then further on in the video I end up adding in even more for the second coat because it just still was too dark for me. But I'm gonna go ahead and start painting the jars, and then I'll be back. Now you're going to want to use 2 pieces of jute twine. The first piece you want to be a length of 21 inches and the second piece will be attached to the roll of jute twine, and you do not need to necessarily measure that out. You'll just know when to stop wrapping when you are content with how many times you've wrapped it around the jar. So I'm going to start by taking both of the pieces and tying them into a knot. And I'm going to leave about 2 inches of a tail from the short piece that is 21 inches long. Once that has been knotted, I am going to hot glue it to the side of the jar and do the same thing with the other side. I'm just going to take it and knot the short end with the long piece of jute twine and leave about 2 inches of a tail from the short piece, which is the 21 inches long. And then I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down on the direct opposite side. And here I'm just double checking to make sure that I have the proper length and it is correct. And once we have everything knotted and glued, that little tail at the end that we left, we will cut that off so that you won't see it at the end. Another thing too, guys, I do recommend using E6000 for reinforcement. Once again, I did not want to be exposed to that right now, so I just opted for the hot glue, and it does seem to be holding up, but I may go back later and reinforce if I have any issues with it. And you can wrap the jute twine around as many times as you want, depending on how thick you want it to go around the neck of the jar. Now that that's finished, it's time to add in the flowers. I used 2 different tones. I used white and ivory, and instead of cutting off the ends, I just folded them under and placed them inside of the jar. And I'm just pulling them out and playing with them to get them arranged the way I want them to look. You can buy these little hangers from your hardware store. And I just had my husband attach them to the back, and then I'm also using coat hooks on the front of the wood, and that is what I'm going to hang the jute twine from. This is what everything looks like when it is finished. I may go back later and put the second one a little bit lower just to add some dimension, but this is the way it came out, and I am really happy with it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. If you are not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well, and tap the bell for notifications. I upload videos every week. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.